Hello, Muppet fans, and welcome to this special podcast interview brought to you by ToughPigs.com. On Sunday, February 9th, a benefit will be held to raise money in support of California wildfire relief. That benefit is the Muppet Script, a star-studded script reading of the Muppet Movie. The event will be staged in front of a sold-out audience, but it will also be available to live stream. To tell us more about this show is the Muppet Script's producer and director and an old friend of ToughPigs, Matt Wilkie. Hello, Matt.
Hey, so happy to be back.
Yeah, back is right. It's been a while since we've done anything together.
It has. Life got away from me for a little bit, but I'll never stop loving Muppets and I'll never stop loving Tough Pigs.
I'm so glad to hear it. But we have a lot to talk about because this is a big deal, this Muppet movie script reading that you're putting together.
It is, yeah.
So tell me first, how did this whole thing come about for you?
Great. Yeah, so this is an idea that I've had for a long time. I always felt that as much as we all think about the Muppets, we often think about the characters. We think about the felt and the fleece and the foam and those colorful creatures that we all love to watch. But I'm a writer by trade, and I feel as though the sometimes the script itself gets a little lost in the shuffle, in the spectacle of it all. So I wanted to do something like this for a while to highlight the script that Jerry Jewell and Jack Burns wrote. But it was always just kind of in the back of my head. So to pull back the curtain, as we're probably aware, this year, 2025, saw a big spread of wildfires that started in California. I was fortunate enough that my home itself wasn't affected, but many of my friends and friends of friends, their neighborhoods, their favorite businesses, and their lives were really upended by these wildfires. And so, luckily, in the past, I think 2 days, I've seen that they are all 100% contained. So we're very fortunate for that, but it is going to still be a long road of recovery for Los Angeles right now. There's a lot of rebuilding that has to get done, and I really wanted to do something to give back to a community that I've been a part of for a long time and absolutely love. So the idea of doing this as a benefit was really appealing to me, and I thought it was time to pull the trigger on this fun idea. I found a wonderful organization called Give Directly. They support specifically low-income families, and they are doing their own fundraising for the wildfire relief. And so I talked to them and I basically said, hey, we have this idea. I'm putting this thing together. You don't have to do anything. We just want to do it and give you guys some aid. And they were fantastic. They loved the idea itself. They loved that we were doing something to help them directly, and here it is. So it's something that after pitching it came together very quickly from the time that I talked to the theater, the Dynasty Typewriter in Los Angeles, till the day that we actually do the show. It's about 3.5 weeks. So we put this whole thing together in an incredibly fast amount of time. But we've been very fortunate to have cast and crew and partners on this who really rose to the occasion and said, yes, let's do something to help. And it's been an amazing experience.
I mean, it's kind of the story of the Muppet movie, right? Like let's just put this whole thing together. Let's get a bunch of people together. We don't have a plan. We're just going to show up in California and put on a show.
It kind of is. It kind of is. And it's truly something that I'm approaching as the spirit of if the Muppets were running it. It's that kind of spirit. We have many cast members who are from different productions that all feel like the Muppets to me. So we have the cast and crew from some productions of Dropout TV, and they are basically wholly owned by themselves. Their CEO, Sam Reich, is somebody who took the College Humor format, and when they were losing their funding, said, "I want to take it. I want to own it, and I want to have all of my friends help me produce it." And that's what they've been doing very successfully for a number of years now. We also have a lot of cast members from the Thrilling Adventure Hour, which is my favorite podcast. It's my favorite live show. And they're also this group of lovable misfits that all kind of came together for this really weird idea that when podcasts were basically just starting, they're having their 20th anniversary. So they've been doing it for 20 years, which is before podcasts were really a big, big thing. And they, banded together and figured it out. And there's so many Muppet-like things in the process of this that it has almost been like living the Muppet movie.
We so you're talking about some of these cast members, so we got to talk about a few more of them because you got some
Oh,
big
yes.
names for this thing.
We did.
Yeah,
We did. Yeah.
how did you do that?
Well, I've spent the last 11 years working at Disney, and for 6.5 of those years, I was at Marvel Studios. And through there, I made some really nice connections. And one of the biggest connections that I had through that is I worked on a movie called Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, and David Dastmalchian was one of the cast members of that movie. And so David and I got to know each other, and we'd been talking a little bit back and forth about like once I left Marvel, what I was going to do next and what I might do. And when I came to him with this idea, he fell in love with it and was immediately on board. David is he won't mind me saying this because I know him well. He's a weirdo. He's an ultimate weirdo. And when I came to him and I said, I want you to play Gonzo, he was over the moon. He was so excited. He's been practicing his singing voice and has been a fantastic person to bring on board. One of the very first people I actually reached out to, completely blind, I didn't know them before this, was Nina West. And I, of course, knew that Nina was a big Muppet fan. And I had the idea that Miss Piggy, to me, is the ultimate drag queen. She is
Right.
somebody
Yeah.
played by a man, but presenting as a femme, is somebody who is a diva in all the best ways and is hilarious. And I really, really, really wanted Nina West to play Miss Piggy. And so I didn't know. I just reached out to her reps. And one night, sitting next to my wife, as I'm just scrolling through Instagram, I started getting these alerts and it said, Nina West, like your photo. Nina West, like your photo. Nina West has started following you. Nina West just sent you a DM. So I watched in real time her slide into my DMs.
Nina West
And
is in your back at your back door knocking.
she is knocking hard. And she said, I can't believe this. This is such a fun idea. It's such a great response to these tragedies that we've been through. And it's an honor that you're even asking me to do this. And for her to say it was an honor for me to ask was like, no, no, no. It's an honor that you're saying yes, that you're even
Yeah.
considering this at this moment. And so she's been a great partner. Yeah.
I mean, so I told you this earlier, but so my wife and I discovered RuPaul's Drag Race like in
Mhm.
August. And since then, we've watched every season of the main show and all the seasons of All Stars. And we watched like the celebrity ones. And like it's getting out of control. And literally, we've watched like hundreds of hours of this show since just in the last few months. And obviously, like we love Nina West. Like we totally fell in love
Yeah,
with her. And of all the drag queens to be on that show, like she is definitely like a top tier to not only play this role, but I mean, as proven because it's happened, is just to work with the Muppets because she did some stuff with them at D23 and she was in a Pride video with Kermit the Frog. And like, yeah, obviously, like she's already in the fold. Just let her play Miss Piggy. Why not?
absolutely. Yeah, she's fantastic. She has been embracing this role. We've been talking costume ideas and reveals and just amazing things. I'm a huge Drag Race fan myself. My wife and I also watch it a lot. We actually last year we went to New York City specifically to see Jinx Monsoon in Chicago, and it was
Great.
a fantastic time. Jinx killed it. And there's so many great people on that show that I mean I don't need to introduce to the world. They're out there already. But
Right.
to show to show this different side of Nina, I think people are going to be really excited to see it.
So let's plant this seed. Let's plant
Mhm.
like another Muppet movie script reading with only drag queens.
Oh my
With
gosh.
just the entire all right, that's another podcast. We're gonna cast that
Oh
thing,
my
and that's gonna be amazing.
gosh. Already I'm like, all right, I'm calling up Jujubee. I'm calling up Ginger
Yep.
Minge. I have so many people
Yep.
that I'm like, yes, these are Muppets in real life. Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm picturing Bob the drag queen as Fozzie Bear. I can see that.
Of course.
Let's do
Of
it.
course.
Why
Yeah.
not? So let's talk about our friends, by which I mean friend of all Muppet fans, Bobby
Mhm.
Moynihan. When I saw
Bobby.
his name on the list, the first thing I thought was, oh, he's obviously playing Gonzo because he's just such a huge Gonzo fan. But he's not. Tell me who he's playing.
He is not. He is playing Doc Hopper. in a little bit of a subversion of expectations, I'm sure. I just think that there's something there. It's a very meaty role in this film, and Bobby can be very intimidating in a very fun way when he's doing it right. And so I had that vision, and I think it's a great fit. And especially since we are partnering up with fan and friend of Tough Pigs, Griffin Newman, playing Max. And
Oh,
Griffin
it's
has been
such a good pairing. God.
exactly. Oh my gosh, they're gonna kill it together. I can't wait.
Yeah, I never wanted a remake of the Muppet movie for so many reasons, but like to see the two of them on screen chasing after Kermit and Fozzie, oh man, I'm upset that we won't actually see like them in the costume on the side of the road. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. I would never dream of this being a reproduction of the movie
Yeah,
itself.
no,
I'm
of course not.
it's
Yeah,
it is its own thing. But if it were, yeah, you can't get much better casting than those two for those roles.
it's true. Maybe the next Muppet movie they'll get Bobby Moynihan to play the villain, and he'll get a little wink wink to Doc Hopper in there.
Let's hope so. Maybe if this is a springboard for that, I'd be over the moon.
Well, yeah. What or would you be a fan if Disney was like, "Hey, we really like what you did, so we're gonna make a Muppet movie, and thanks to you, Matt, it was all
Ah,
you."
I mean, I guess I'd be flattered.
I do like stories where if you track the story back far enough, and I play like the tiniest little role, and I'm like, look, if it wasn't for me, that never would have happened.
It's very true. It's very
It's true.
true.
Well, I'm so important. No, more important than me is another person who I'm a huge fan of is Paul F. Tompkins, and he's
Yes.
playing
Yeah.
Fozzie Bear. Is that right?
He is playing Fozzie Bear, and he has been so excited. My favorite thing so far is that when I reached out to his reps and we were talking, they said he's interested, but he has a question. And his question is, are you looking for an impression of Fozzie Bear for the whole night, or is this more a little open to interpretation? And I hadn't said it, but that was my exact thought was I don't want impressions. Actually not looking specifically for impressions. There are plenty of people that can do a Fozzie Bear impression, and it would be great. But Paul is somebody who is so smart about comedy. He's so thoughtful about what works and ways to in the fly. He's a genius at improv. In the fly, he can make these little micro adjustments that make the characters really sing. And so I said to him, "No, I'm not looking for impressions. I want to see how Paula Tompkins would play Fozzie Bear." And that's what we're going to get. And I love it.
He's so good. Oh, what a cool guy. I hope he brings a
Yes.
pork pie hat and a necktie. That's all.
I
I
I
want to see
said
that with the
I said to a
mustache.
lot, yeah, I said to a lot of people, I was like, I'm not going to tell you what to wear. I want you to like, as you're figuring out your voice and your interpretation of the character you're playing, the same goes for costuming. What you think somebody like this would wear, and boy, I'm excited to see it.
Another good friend of ours who's going to be in the show didn't expect you to cast Kermit's banjo, but you did. Our buddy Lucas Ross is going to make his way to
Yes,
California. What
yes.
a great guy. He just says
What
yes to everything.
he does, and we had to work a little bit to make it work. And I do want to give a really special shout out to the American Banjo Museum. They helped us out a lot with getting him to come out here and to join the show. Lucas is an amazing guy. I mean, you know him. He's full of joy and love, and he loves these characters, and he loves getting to perform. And his official title is Banjo Advisor to Kermit the Frog. I found out, so that's the phrase that we used, and I'm sure people can read between the lines, wink, wink, on what that means. And he's been fantastic. I've already pitched him a couple of wild ideas that he's immediately been on board with, and he's somebody that I'm so excited is joining. It gives us just that little bit of legitimacy that I was looking for to say, yeah, we have the real. It's a real rainbow connection to have him.
Ah, he's just an advisor. I don't buy it. So you have done a bit of acting in your life. Many people may have seen you in She-Hulk Attorney at Law
It's
as
true.
yourself, I
It's
assume.
true. Yes. So legally speaking, no. But But yes,
Yeah.
I was fortunate. So when I started at Marvel, I was the receptionist there, and I got to meet everybody in the studio. I got to talk to folks, and I got to let them know about my creative side and my desire to eventually be on the creative side, which is where I did end up eventually. But when I started there, I was front desk every morning. I was saying hi to people, and the She-Hulk writers team were all really good friends of mine by the end of their writers' room. And I found this out later. In the original script for the finale of She-Hulk, there's a scene where she breaks the fourth wall and she enters Muppets, or excuse me, Marvel Studios.
Oh, now that'll be
And
something.
oh my gosh, right? It's not easy being green. So she enters Marvel Studios, and in the script they had written, and she sees Matt Wilkie, the receptionist, who says to her all these things. They had written me in, and legal very quickly said, "You cannot write him into the show like that. It has to be just the receptionist." But sometimes things work out, and sometimes when you know the writers and the producers of the show, and you go to them and you say, "I would love to audition to play myself," they say, "What a wild, fun idea that would be." And they liked my audition, and I got to play a quote Matt Wilkie type.
You were advisor to Matt Wilkie, is what you were.
Exactly,
Right.
exactly. I was often in the corner just talking to myself.
So now that you have this acting bug, are you going to be in the show as well?
So I am going to be just doing a couple of things. I'll be doing kind of like a hosting for the night and then filling in here and there for certain things. But we do have uh, some very, very talented people who will be even down to our script readers are going to be doing like stage direction reading. Are fantastic performers from the UCB community, people who are going to take the prose of the script, and even the prose as written by Jerry Jewell and Jack Burns is hilarious. The descriptions of how they're traveling down the road is just beautifully and funnily written. And so we'll have that. And yeah, so I'm going to pop up when needed. But
Mhm.
this is really a labor of love that I'm producing mostly from behind the scenes and showcasing these wonderful, wonderful performers.
Have there been any more well-known people who've joined the roster since the original announcements of the cast?
I'm trying to think. Right now, of course, it's always subject to change, but right now, who we have on the Dynasty Typewriter website is pretty much the people that we've had since the beginning there. I'm trying to think if we added anybody that hasn't been announced. I will say that we have not yet announced our Kermit. I know a lot of people are curious to see who we've cast in that role. We
It could
have
be
some
anyone.
things
It
that
could be me. It could
it
be
could be.
someone listening to this podcast.
Yeah, yeah. I was. This is a complete joke, but I was joking to my wife last night, and I said, "What if I just like pulled a Jeopardy on them?" And as the producer, I'm like, "Actually, I'm going to play Kermit." But that is
You
not the
could
case. Yeah,
have. Yeah, I mean, don't do that, but you could. It's up that
I
you're
will
the
not.
producer.
Yes. No, we are in talks with some really exciting things that might happen with that, and so I can't announce it yet. Maybe before this airs, if we get it, we can insert it right here. But I don't know if we will yet. So it'll be somebody really special. Yeah.
Great. That's a good tease. Either way, that's a good tease.
Yes.
And it's
Yes.
like, look, and if you don't announce it, then the only way that people can find out is to get in on this live stream and then to see it for yourself.
Absolutely. Oh my God. That would be kind of fun if I just didn't announce it at all and we just waited until the night of. Not a bad
Yeah.
idea.
Mystery Kermit. Yeah. Was there anyone that you feel comfortable saying that you reached out to that said no?
Oh gosh. I'll tell you off mic.
Great.
I really there were a couple of people that I asked to be in this show that technically speaking I'm still out to them right now, so it could
Mm-hmm.
still happen. There are some people who very, very graciously declined because they had it's a time right now where a lot of people in Los Angeles are trying to do what they can for the community. And so there are a lot of things happening right now that are benefits for people. So there were a couple who I did reach out to who were already doing a different benefit at the same time and who weren't able to join. Um, but I think it'd be polite of me not to say.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're the same people that we've reached out to in the past that are like,
I
no,
I think I
not doing
think there'll
that.
be some overlap. I think there'll be some overlap.
I bet you're
Yeah.
right. Okay, well, we'll compare notes.
Okay.
So you talked a bit about this script, the Jerry Jewell Jack Burns script. So it sounds like you're using the original script. Are you making any changes to it to like fit the movie? I'm sure there's like slight
Yes.
differences between the shooting script and the final script.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there
tell me
there
about
are
it.
slight differences. At first, I thought I was just going to do the original script as is. There is a version of the script that's floating around. It's missing some pages. It is very different than the shooting draft because it's probably like a draft or two before they actually went to shoot. But that was the template, the Bible for what we did. I took that, I merged the missing scenes and the missing chins or character lines that got changed from the final film and put those in. And then there is very little just kind of reworking to make it feel like the end. I will say that to me, the most important reason why I went to the movie as well is because in this draft that's floating around, Kermit's motivation is a little bit different. Kermit, at the beginning of the film, hears that he can become rich and famous, and that's kind of his driving force through that version of the script. But something that they kind of held on to when they went to film is the real reason Kermit wants to do it is to make millions of people happy. And that to me is the essence of Kermit. And so I couldn't really circle that square and say that his motivation needed to be millions of people happy. And so that's why we have kind of a merging of those versions.
That thing that's wise. I mean, he could have said. He wanted to do this to make millions of people happy. And if I happen to get rich and famous along the way, well, I guess I'll just be rich
I'm
and
not gonna
famous.
turn down the rich and famous part. And it is the rich and famous contract that's signed. So
Right?
it's still a little bit about money. But just like what we're doing, where it's our proceeds are being donated to give directly, it really is about the joy right now. It's been a very rough month for a lot of people for a lot of different reasons. And I feel like this is such a pure, good-hearted story. And I think it's coming at a time where a lot of people can use a little bit of comfort and joy right now. So happy that we're getting to do it.
Yeah. And also, I think that just to your point, charity and these kinds of important tasks that we're doing to kind of help make the world slightly better, they tend to come across as a little boring and or a little
Mhm.
cold because it's so important. And so I think it's nice to remind people of like, no, it doesn't have to be boring. It doesn't have to be cold. It could be fun. It could be filled with Muppets and drag queens and comedians, you
It
know?
absolutely could be. There's no reason not. And these are people. We have many of the people on our cast are trans people. Many of the people on our cast are queer people. Many of the people in this cast are people who are, struggling right now for their rights and their rights for just being born as who they are. And there's a lot of found family in these communities. And the Muppets is one of the best found family communities I can think of. I just think it's just a great combination of those types of things and a wonderful, wonderful thing. Yeah.
And so actually that goes back to a question that I had skipped over on my list here because you kind of talked about it but maybe we could talk about it some more. Just this
Yeah.
idea that you could have chosen anything. You could have done a script reading of Back to the Future or the 80s Howard the Duck movie, or probably not Star Wars because I think Patrick Cottner has the has
Patrick
rights to
Patrick
those.
has his thumb on that one hard, and
Yeah, yeah,
I
pretty
love
hard.
Pat.
Yeah,
He's a very good friend of mine. He gave me some advice on this project as well. But yeah, I wouldn't touch Star Wars.
right. So why the Muppet movie? I mean, I know it's like we're fans, so that's always gonna be the first thing that you people like you and I think about. But why for something like this to support like this kind of charity is the Muppet movie the perfect script reading?
It truly is the perfect script reading, I think. It is a story about perseverance. It's a story about overcoming the odds. It's a story about truly finding what motivates you in life and what purpose you want to get out of life. And it inspires you to keep going in the face of so many people telling you it's not going to happen, it's not going to work. You should just give up and go back to your home in the swamp and forget about what your silly little dreams are. Um, but I think that art is important. And I think that art matters. And I think that this is a work of art that I want people to really look at a little bit closer and to say, yeah, I love singing Rainbow Connection in the shower, but what does it mean? And what does it motivate me to do when I think about the words that Kermit's singing? And I truly think that it's a story that is timeless and is something that so many people can relate to. Every single person that I've asked to do this show that has come aboard and has said yes has told me how much they love the Muppets, how much it's an honor to get these characters, even if it's just like one line and you sit on stage for the rest of the show. They're like, I'll do it. I'll do anything because this is such a joyful, wonderful, loving movie, and it's the perfect combination of material and talent, and I'm so excited.
I'm so glad to hear that. Slightly off topic. So you
Yes.
were one of our the core writers over here on Tough Pigs from like I looked it up. I think you were here for like 2011 to 2021 ish. Uh, and this is your first really big Muppet fan project since then. Does this mean that you're coming back to the fold? You're gonna start making Muppet content again? I'm not
I'm
saying necessarily for us. It's up to you. You're a free agent.
I am, which is it's a wonderful thing right now. I have left Marvel Studios. It was a tough thing. We went through a lot of layoffs past in my industry, and I was affected by them. And so I really took time this past year to think about who I am, what kind of producer I want to be, what kind of projects I've done that I've loved, what kind of things I've done that I want to do again or never do again. And so right now, yeah, free agent is the word. I'm looking for the things that spark joy in me and that I want to bring out. And for this to be my first like big project as an independent producer is, I think for me, and so many people have told me this, for me, just the perfect thing to do. Just the perfect thing where I'm going back to my all-time lifelong love of Muppets, comedy in general, music, and just so many wonderful things. I haven't even talked about the music yet. Oh my gosh. We have
Music. You're gonna have
fan
music in this thing?
we're gonna have music. We're gonna have live music. I know we talked about Lucas Ross, which is great, but we have a full band that's gonna be on stage. We have the band members from Off Book, the improvised musical. I've been friends with Jess McKenna and Zach Reno and Dana Wickens and Scott and Brett and everybody for a long time. Jess and I have often said that we wanted to work together on something, and so when I reached out to her about this, we decided like if we could have Off Book play Electric Mayhem, it would just fit perfectly. And Dana Wickens is going to blow you away when he comes out as Animal. She is going to absolutely kill it, and you're gonna be your socks will be rocked off. So it's just this kind of combination, me pulling together so many people that I love, so many people that I admire and have wanted to work with or have worked with, and bringing them into something so magical and wonderful. And it's just like a great way to reintroduce myself to the world a little bit. And as a Muppet fan, yeah, I'd love to do more Muppety things. I don't know exactly what that'll be yet. I'm not announcing that we're going to do the scripted Muppet Caper, but it is something that I'm thinking about, and we'll see if that
That was gonna
happens.
be my next question. Are you just gonna go in order?
If we do it, we're gonna go in order. We're gonna have
Great.
the scripted Muppet Caper would be the next one. Yeah.
Amazing. Um, well, that's fantastic. I think this is going to be a great show. I'm so excited to see the live stream. I'm so sorry that I live on the wrong side of the country to be able to be there in person, but the fact that you guys are making this available to everybody is it's also like very much in the vein of the Muppets. Like this is for
Absolutely.
everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Dynasty Typewriter is a fantastic theater. They're my favorite live stage theater in Los Angeles. I actually have tickets tomorrow night to see the George Lucas talk show there, which is one of my favorite things in the world to watch. And
Yeah. Shout out to
they're
our friend
fantastic.
Patrick Cotner who works on that show. He produces that show.
Yes. Yes, he does. And Griffin Newman plays Watto in that show as
Yes, he
well. So
does.
we've got a lot of great connections there. So the Dynasty Typewriter is they're very great with their live stream as well. They're kind of playing around with the format a lot of times. They're trying to figure out what we can do that kind of infuses video plus live stage plus anything else that we do that night. So they've really embraced it and have found really interesting ways to do it. I specifically went to them first. Like I said, they were immediately on board and they said, "Great, we've got this date available. Can you do it in this amount of time?" And I said, "I will make that work because I want to go to you guys." And I absolutely wanted to make sure that we had a theater that was going to do a live stream because it's a wonderful theater, but like every place, it has its capacity. And sold out the in-person tickets. I don't want to brag, but we sold them out in under 6 hours. It was
That's
incredibly
nuts,
fast.
man.
It's very crazy how quickly we sold out, and to the point where I was like, "Oh, I didn't get my wife a ticket yet. Hold on, I gotta make sure Grace can come too." And so we made sure that we have the live stream. It is going to be broadcast live on the night of, but you don't even need to watch it live if you're in another part of the world, if it's somewhere where it's going to be very late for you. You can watch it anytime for up to 2 weeks after the show plays live. And you can rewatch it too. So it's great. So really want to encourage people who missed out on the live in-person tickets to get your live stream tickets. You can get them from the same website from dynastytypewriter.com.
And I believe it's only like $15, right? For the live
It's
stream.
$15 and yeah, you can watch it as many times as you want. It's cheaper than AMC right now. So
Yeah, like that this is a steal. I'm not gonna lie. I
truly
think you're undervaluing this.
for what we're doing, you are getting so much value. Yes.
Absolutely. And for a good cause.
That's the most important thing. Yes, yes. I cannot say that enough. I am not making money off of this, and I'm so happy that I'm not. I'm so happy that we've gotten such great response from people who want to support survivors of the wildfires. Yeah.
And if you feel like you're underpaying for this live stream ticket, you could just donate more money. Nothing's stopping you.
Absolutely. Hey, if you're listening to this and for some reason you don't even love the Muppets, please consider going to givedirectly.com and finding they have a specific fundraiser for the wildfires that you can donate to. Please do that because it's, like I said, it's a wonderful organization. They're helping low-income families directly. Their goal is to raise $3,000 to $4,000 per family, and we really want to help them out with that goal.
Great. And speaking of .coms, where can people go to get tickets for this live stream?
Yeah. So if you just go to dynastytypewriter.com, there is a full page there for all of their upcoming shows. You can buy your tickets there. It goes through, I think it's a site called Squad Up. but that's a little more convoluted. So if you just go to dynastytypewriter.com, you'll find the tickets there.
Great. Well, Matt, thank you so much for being here and for telling us all about the show. I'm so excited for it. I think it's gonna be a blast.
Thank you.
And
Thank you so much.
thank you for putting it together because this really is important work, and I'm glad that it's someone who really cares both about this charity that you're supporting and the Muppets, because we don't want to see either of those get screwed up.
Not at all. I have great love and respect for both of those things, and it's the perfect chocolate in the peanut butter combo. It's just wonderful that it's happening. It's wonderful that people are doing it and people are excited to see it. And I can't wait for the 9th to put it on.
One last thing for you, Matt. Where, if anywhere, can people find your work on the internet?
Oh, great question. So I do have a very, very, very bare bones website that you can go to. It's wilkipedia.com. That's
Oh, God,
Wilkie.
I hate it.
I know, but you kind of love it.
Yeah.
Yes, and you can check me out there and find my socials and anything upcoming that we'll have.
Fantastic. And for Tough Pigs, you can find us at toughpigs.com. You can find us at Tough Pigs on all social media networks, except for that one that we are getting off. We're not going to talk about it. And
Mm-mm-mm.
you can also support us on Patreon, or you could buy t-shirts and other merchandise at tpublic.com and just do a search for Tough Pigs. Thanks again, Matt, for being here. I'm so excited for the show. I think everyone listening to this is going to be excited as well. And make sure you head over to the Dynasty Typewriter website to get your live stream tickets.
Thank you so much, Joe. Thank you so much, Tough Pigs. So good to see you guys again.